Life can change in the most unexpected moments. For Olivia Chen, that moment came on an ordinary Tuesday morning at the Morning Brew Cafe, where fate had something extraordinary in store. The Morning Brew buzzed with its usual breakfast crowd. Business people tapped away on laptops. Students crammed for exams, and regulars chatted with the staff they'd come to know by name. Olivia moved between tables with practiced efficiency. At 27, she'd been working here for 3 years since graduating with her linguistics degree, specializing in Russian and Mandarin. The job wasn't what she'd imagined for herself, but it paid the bills while she searched for something that would put her education to use. "Order up for table 7, called Marco from the kitchen. Olivia balanced the plates on her arm and delivered them to an elderly couple who thanked her warmly. As she turned to head back to the counter, the bell above the door chimed. That's when Alexander Reed walked in. At 34, he was already making headlines as one of the country's most innovative tech entrepreneurs. Not that Olivia recognized him right away. To her, he was just another customer in a well-tailored suit looking for his morning coffee. Alexander took a seat in the corner booth, phone pressed to his ear, brow furrowed in concentration. He nodded to Olivia as she approached with a menu.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Brew. Can I start you with some coffee?
Black coffee, please, and I'll need a quiet spot for a conference call in about 10 minutes if that's possible.
You're in luck. This corner is the quietest we've got. I'll bring your coffee right over.
Olivia thought nothing of it as she served other customers. Alexander's coffee sat cooling on the table as he made several short calls, checking his watch repeatedly. Then his phone rang again, and everything changed. Alexander answered his phone, his expression quickly shifting from professional to confused. He pulled the phone slightly away from his ear, staring at it as if it might explain what was happening.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I'm having trouble understanding.
Everything okay with your coffee, sir?
The coffee's fine, but this call isn't. It's a Russian investor I've been trying to connect with for months. My translator canceled, and now I can barely understand what he's saying.
I speak Russian. Fluently, actually. If you need help...
Are you serious? Right now?
Господин Рейд, я не уверен, что мы сможем продолжить, если вы не понимаете основные условия соглашения.
He says he's not sure you can proceed if you don't understand the basic terms of the agreement.
Tell him I apologize for the confusion. My translator had an emergency, but we now have someone who can help us communicate.
For the next 20 minutes, Olivia translated the complex negotiation between Alexander and Mikhail Petrov, a major investor from Moscow. What started as a simple courtesy became a detailed discussion about technology investments and partnership opportunities. The cafe manager, seeing what was happening, waved off Olivia's concerned glances. It was a slow morning anyway.
Mr. Petrov says the demonstration in Vancouver next week is crucial. He wants to see the technology in person before finalizing the investment.
Of course, please tell him we'll have everything prepared for his visit. You just saved a $20 million deal. I don't even know your name.
Olivia. Olivia Chen.
Alexander Reed. Though I guess you figured that out from the call.
I did. It sounded important.
Important doesn't begin to cover it. Mikhail Petrov rarely gives anyone a chance, let alone a second one. Your translation was perfect. Where did you learn Russian like?
Double majored in linguistics and international relations. Russian was my specialty, along with Mandarin.
That, and you're working here?
It pays the bills while I look for something in my field.
Alexander didn't hesitate. He reached into his jacket, pulled out a business card, and wrote something on the back.
This is my personal number. My regular translator just quit, and I'm flying to Vancouver next week for this demonstration. I need someone who speaks Russian, understands business terminology, and can think on their feet. Based on what I just witnessed, that's you.
You're offering me a job? Just like that?
I'm offering you an opportunity. The Vancouver trip is 3 days. If it works out, we can discuss something more permanent. My company works with partners in 12 countries. We need someone with your skills.
That evening, Olivia sat in her tiny apartment. Alexander's business card pinched between her fingers as she spoke with her roommate, Jen.
Let me get this straight. A Millionaire tech CEO offered you a job translating in Vancouver, all expenses paid with the possibility of permanent employment afterward.
It sounds crazy when you say it out loud.
It sounds like the plot of a movie. Are you going to do it?
I don't know. What if it's too good to be true?
I looked him up. Alexander Reed is legitimate. Reed Tech is one of the fastest growing companies in green technology. This could be your big break, Liv.
What if I mess it up? Cafe Russian is one thing, but business negotiations.
You've been waiting for a chance to use your degree for 3 years. Are you really going to let fear stop you now?
After a sleepless night, Olivia made her decision. She called the number on the card. 5 days later, Olivia found herself boarding a private jet, a small suitcase clutched in her hand and nerves fluttering in her stomach. Alexander greeted her at the top of the stairs.
Olivia, glad you could make it. Let me introduce you to the team. Everyone, this is Olivia Chen, our new translator for the Petrov negotiations. She's the reason we still have a meeting to go to. The challenge is explaining the technical aspects across the language barrier. Petrov understands English, but he prefers Russian for technical discussions and negotiations.
I've been studying your company materials all week. The technology is fascinating.
You didn't have to do that.
I wanted to be prepared. I don't take opportunities like this lightly.
Something changed in Alexander's expression. A flicker of respect, perhaps even admiration. For the first time, Olivia felt like maybe, just maybe, she belonged in this world. The meeting took place in a sleek conference room overlooking Vancouver's harbor. Mikhail Petrov arrived with his own team of 4 people, his handshake firm as Alexander introduced Olivia.
Переводчик с телефонного звонка. Александр отзывается о вас очень хорошо.
I'm honored to facilitate this important discussion.
For the next 2 hours, Olivia translated complex technical specifications, financial projections, and partnership terms. When one of Petrov's advisors raised concerns about a particular aspect of the technology, Olivia not only translated but clarified the technical point based on her preparation.
That wasn't in the materials I gave you.
I did some extra research.
У вас есть ценный актив в лице госпожи Чень. Она не просто переводчик. Она понимает, что переводит. Это редкость.
You were remarkable in there.
I was just doing what you hired me for.
You did far more than that. Join us for dinner. The team wants to celebrate, and you're definitely part of this success.
That dinner was the first of many. The 3-day trip extended to a week as Petrov requested additional meetings. When they returned, Alexander offered Olivia a permanent position as Director of International Relations at ReedTech, with a salary that made her drop the contract when he first showed it to her. Over the next 6 months, Olivia traveled to Moscow, Beijing, and Berlin with Alexander. They worked late into the night preparing for meetings, shared meals in foreign cities, and slowly their professional relationship evolved into friendship.
I never thanked you properly,
For what?
for being at that cafe that morning, for speaking up when you could have just refilled my coffee and walked away.
I was just in the right place at the right time.
No, you were the right person, making the right choice at a crucial moment. There's a difference.
It was in Tokyo, 9 months after that fateful morning at the Morning Brew, that their relationship changed again. They stood on the rooftop garden of their hotel, the city lights spread out before them.
I have a confession to make.
Sounds serious.
It is. I'm finding it increasingly difficult to think of you as just my Director of International Relations.
I stopped thinking of you as just my boss a long time ago.
Their first kiss overlooked the Tokyo skyline, both of them finally translating the feelings that had been building for months. 18 months after a chance encounter at a cafe, Olivia stood in a dressing room, adjusting her wedding veil as Jen helped with the final touches.
I still can't believe my roommate is marrying one of the richest tech entrepreneurs in the country.
That's not why I'm marrying him.
I know. You're marrying the guy who recognized your worth when no one else would. The private jet is just a bonus.
Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't spoken up that day.
But you did. That's the point of your whole story, isn't it? You took a chance.
As Olivia walked down the aisle toward Alexander, she saw Mikhail Petrov among the guests, nodding approvingly. Marco from the Morning Brew Cafe was there too, beaming proudly as if he'd somehow engineered the whole thing. Alexander took her hands when she reached him.
Ready for our next adventure?
As long as we face it together.
Sometimes life's greatest opportunities come disguised as ordinary moments. For Olivia, it was a simple translation that changed everything. But the real magic wasn't in the words she translated. It was in her courage to speak up, to take a chance when opportunity knocked. As Alexander and Olivia exchanged their vows, not even a translator was needed to understand the message in their eyes. Some connections transcend language, spanning from chance encounters to lifelong love. And it all began with a cup of coffee and a phone call that needed translating.